All right, sir. Now I'm the host. I'll continue. Yes, sir. All right. Okay, now we'll move. I guess we were doing nouns last time. Okay, and we have done some questions too. Now we'll learn pronouns whole, and then we'll move on to practice papers of both nouns and pronouns combined. Yeah. Yes. Okay. And everyone, if you guys have any doubt or anything, please do let me know from the chat box. Okay. And mute yourself as well, guys, so that there is no disturbance in the middle. Okay. Well, yes, that's it. Now that being done. Okay, now we'll move on to pronouns. Okay. Yes, Faisal. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, all of you guys. Okay, now we'll move on to our session, pronouns. Okay. Yes, so pronouns, now that we have studied nouns, pronouns are something, words that we use to refer to the noun. Like when I want to tell something, like there is a noun there and I have to refer to the noun again and again in the coming sentences or in the same sentence as well. So to avoid repetition and to refer to the noun, we use pronouns. Okay, I'll give you guys an example. See, I saw a boy on the roof. I saw a boy on the roof. He seemed to recognize me. Okay, so he is the pronoun used. Okay, he is the pronoun used to refer to the boy I saw on the roof. I cannot tell I saw a boy on the roof. The boy seemed to recognize me. The boy waved at me. The boy smiled at me. The boy asked me how I am. All those things are like, it doesn't feel like, it feels a little awkward like that. Okay, pronouns, we use pronouns, words that are used in place of nouns to refer to a noun or to avoid repetition itself. Yes, yes, Kunal, right. Again, Rahul is a good student. He is liked by all the teachers. Now again, if I cannot tell Rahul is a good student, Rahul is a good friend, Rahul is liked by all the teachers, Rahul studies well, Rahul goes for this, Rahul goes for that. No, I'll again tell he or him, or depending upon the context, I'll tell like that. Okay, depending on the gender, depending on the number. Okay, if it is plural, singular, we'll come to that. But yes, so depending on the gender, number, all those things, we change pronouns, but instead of nouns, we use this pronouns. Okay, to refer to nouns or to avoid repetition. In the same sentence itself, you can use. Now we'll move on to kinds of pronouns. Having said that, what is pronoun? Now we'll move on to kinds of pronoun. Okay, kinds of pronoun. Now, see, pronouns are of different types. The first one is personal pronoun. When I want to refer to nouns related to people, place, or things. Okay, if I am using a pronoun instead of noun referring to people, place, or things, like Amy works at a flower shop, she enjoys her job. See, Amy is the proper, okay, Amy is the person there, and instead of Amy I am using she enjoys her job. That is one thing. All right, so this is a personal pronoun. I'm using personal pronoun she. I can use that exactly to replace proper or common noun. Yes, Kunal, very good. So whenever I'm replacing a person or people or a place or thing, anything of such nouns, okay, I tell them to be personal pronouns. Okay, yes. Now the Greeks invented democracy. They sought freedom and equality. They is for, here I'm using they for the Greeks. The Greeks are the people of Greece. Again, going back to the article, the Greeks. Why we use the? because I'm talking about the people of Greece here. I'm not talking about any language or anything. Okay, I'm talking about the people here. So you have to use the. Okay, this is how you need to study. Whenever you see something, whenever you study something, study that, but try to remember what you have studied related to that as well. It will prove as a revision, and then you will understand what and all you remember. Okay, yes. So the Greeks invented democracy. They sought freedom and equality. That means they. I have used they for the Greeks. And why I have used they? Because they are plural. I used she instead of Amy because it was singular and her gender was feminine. Okay, she. But they is for plural. The Greeks. I'm referring to the Greeks. Okay. So that is why we used they. Now again, sought. See guys, sought is the V2 form, okay, of seek. When you tell someone seek to seek peace or to seek something, that means to search for, to find, like that, seek. Okay. So SEEK, I'm talking about SEEK, the past form, okay, is like sought. V3 is also sought. There is a difference. Okay, seek, sought. This is the thing. If in case you guys did not know, yes. Now, okay. So, okay. Now one more thing. See, I have told you guys what is a subject and what is an object, right? If I'm talking about Amy works at a flower shop, then Amy is the subject there, like a person, a place, a thing, or idea that is doing or being something that is being talked about in the sentence. Okay, that is a highlight, that is the emphasis in the sentence, that is a subject. Okay, be it a person, place, thing, idea, be it anything. So in here, Amy works at a flower shop. Amy is the what? Subject here. And object is always a noun or a pronoun on which the subject performs an action. Okay, an object is always a noun or pronoun on which the subject performs an action. Like Amy works at, I can ask what, where, whom. So the answer to it. Okay, Amy works at where? A flower shop. See, that is the object. Amy, the subject, is performing an action. She is working at where? In where? A flower shop. So that is the object. The subject performs an action on an object, and object is always a noun or a pronoun. And here it is like a noun, flower shop. It's a common noun, be it any flower shop, that flower shop. Okay, so that is one thing. Now, if I'm talking about subject and object, see, I'll tell you guys an example. Please pass the butter. Okay, please pass the butter. Now, pass is the verb. Now, please pass what? The butter. Okay, so the answer is, so the object is the butter. Now, what is the subject? Please pass the butter. What is the subject in there? You guys find like, you guys might feel like there is no subject. But if I'm telling, please pass the butter, I'm talking to someone. Okay, so the you, the subject you is implied there, even though it is not visible or even though it is not there, it is implied. I'm talking to someone. You, please pass me the butter. Okay, you. So that is a subject there. I'm talking to you. Please pass the butter. Okay, so all those things are there. Please do remember that. Okay, yes. I was just telling so that it will be easier for you guys to understand. Okay. Now see the example and then I'll tell you, explain you the table. Okay. See the example. I called Rahul. I called Rahul. So I is the subject there. Called is the verb there. Rahul is the object there. Okay. I called Rahul. So when it came in the subjective, like subjective case, it is I, right? Subject as subject, it is I. The same sentence, Rahul called me. Rahul is the subject. Rahul is the subject. Called me. Okay, I and me is same person, right? But the same thing when it came in the objective case, when it came as objective, see, it is no longer I, it is me. Okay, so in subjective case, it is I. In objective case, it is me. Okay, now I'll tell you guys the table. Okay, now see, he called Rahul. He is the subject. Rahul called him. I do not tell Rahul called he. Rahul called him. Okay, that is the objective case. So he only comes as a subject. He called Rahul. But when it comes as object, Rahul called him. Okay, him is the object. Again, she called Rahul. So she is the subject there. Rahul called her. That is the her. Her is the objective case. But see it. It is the same as subject and object. Okay. It came towards me. By it, I might mean an insect or an animal, something like that. Any living creature, okay, might be possible. So it came towards me. Okay, it came towards me as in that's a subject. Subject is it. Okay, the same thing. I wanted it. I wanted it. Okay, I wanted it. Now it is an object. Same thing, it. But these words, see, it is the same in subject and object. You is the same as subject and object. You did this. You did this. When I tell you as a subject. Now, if I'm talking about object, it is done by you. It is done by you. Then I can tell you as the same object itself. So it and you are same as object and subject, but I becomes me in object, he becomes him in as object, she becomes her as object. Again, we and us, a lot of people have confusion regarding that. We and us. Okay, we are planning for a trip together. We are planning for a trip together. So we, that is a subject. Okay, now if I'm talking about another sentence, the play was organized by us. The play, the drama was organized by us. See, us is the object there. Now I'll talk us. I do not tell we. The drama was organized by we. Wrong, because we is in the subjective case. I can only use we as a subject, not as an object. Object will always be us. The same meaning, the same context, but the difference in subjective and objective case I'm explaining to you guys. Okay, we is for subject and us is for object. Again, they own the house. They own the house. That means the house, it is theirs. Okay, so they is a subject. Now the house is owned by them. So the same thing, when I use it as an object, it is them. Okay, they own the house and them. The house is owned by them. Okay. Now again, one. See, one. If I'm talking about one, that is the same thing as subject, object, anything. Like the one should always be careful about one's words. Okay, one should always be careful about one's words. Done. So then I can also tell it is done by one who doesn't value motherhood. It is done by someone or one who doesn't value motherhood, by one. So that is an object as well. The subject and object is one. Now who did this to you? Who wrote Ramayana? So subject is who. Okay, subject who. Now if I'm telling the Ramayana is written by whom, see, whom came as the object. See, so there is a difference. Who is for subjective case and whom is for objective case. Now if I'm talking about a proper noun, If I'm talking, for example, if I'm talking about Arslan, okay, my student Arslan, if I'm talking about Arslan as a subject, Arslan is a smart guy, then I tell subject is Arslan, fine. Now, if I'm telling the homework is being done, sorry, the homework was done by Arslan, again by Arslan, that is an object, then also the same thing. So for proper nouns, subject and object, same case, no difference. But for pronouns like I, he, she, it, you, we, they, one, who, all these things, it is different. Okay, yes, so yeah, this is there. Okay, so I have told about how I is used as subject and me is used as an object. Now, see this thing, third sentence, my friend and me went to the market. My friend and me. So the subject is my friend and me. Subject is plural because it is my friend and me. But again, the subject is this thing and me comes as an object. Okay, so it doesn't go well together. So I have to use the sense of me in the subjective case. So of course, I'll tell my friend and I went to the market, because in subjective case, me never comes. It is always I. Okay. Try to identify the subject. My friend and I. That is the subject. So me is an objective case, and you have to change it into subjective case. This was a previous year question. My friend and me went to the market. Okay. So this is a supporting error, and thinking my friend is a subject, everyone was like, "Ha, no error." But me, okay, me is the thing. My friend and me went to the market, wrong. Me is an objective case. I can never use it with the subjective case. So I should always write my friend and I. My friend and I. Now it is the whole thing is in subjective case, right? Okay. Okay. Now one more important point. Okay, see this example. He is better than me. He is better than me. See, the subject is he, I understand. But here I'm comparing he with someone. Okay, here I'm comparing a subject with someone. So I cannot compare a subject with an object. I cannot compare a guy with a girl, right? I can only compare a guy with a guy. Similarly, I cannot compare a subject with an object. I can only compare a subject with a subject only. Yeah. So he is better than me. That means he is in subject. Because he is the subject. No doubt about it. And we also know that he is in subjective case because he is a subject. He should be in subjective case. So if I'm comparing better, see, better word came, comparison indeed. So he is better than me. Here it is an objective case, so it is wrong. It is always in subject, it should always be in subjective case. He is better than I. Okay, he is better than I. This is the right one. Again, previous year question. Question was he is faster. He is faster than me. That was the question. He is faster than me. So everyone will be like, ha, right. He is faster. Even in spoken English, we tell like that. Okay, he is better than me. He is faster than me, or all those things. But technical English, for your exam point of view, this is the right thing. Okay, this is the right thing to do. At least take note of this right now. And from the next time you talk, remember this. Okay, he is better than I, because he is a subject and I can only compare subject with subject. Okay, never subject and object should be compared. It is always a comparison, should always be a comparison between subject and subject. Okay, this was what was there in personal pronouns. Okay, is it clear? Everyone, may I get a yes or no from the chat box? This personal pronoun thing. I was talking what is personal pronoun, then I told you about what is subject, object, then the subjective case and objective case. Some words differ, some words do not differ. Okay. And then I was telling how to compare, how to identify the subject and make it in the same case. Again, when comparing, how to compare subject with subject and never with an object. Yes? Great. Good. Okay. Too much of concepts to learn. If it is like that, I understand that. But once you are okay with the concepts and then you start doing practice papers, previous year papers, then it will be better. Okay. Once again, I'll finish these grammar portions and then we'll start with our previous year papers, because previous year papers are really required for you guys. I do not give previous year papers, previous year questions as practice papers, because then you will already be acquainted with that kind. You'll already be familiar with that kind of questions. So that is why I do not give previous year papers as practice papers. We'll solve previous year paper as previous year paper only. Okay, with that seriousness. Okay, now the same thing we are studying about personal pronouns. Now another the points to remember, again very important. From here questions come mostly or from pronouns. Okay, now see, what is a first person, second person, third person narrative or anything in English? First person, second person, that story is in first person. We have all heard, right? Story is in first person, or the dialogue is in what? Second person, anything. So what is first person, second person, third person? So these things are, if I want to describe from points of view or from perspectives, viewpoints. First person is I or we perspective. Okay, anything that I am talking from the perspective of I or we. I went to the market. Okay, we went to the beach. We were planning on doing this. We, of course, we is like, I'm also included, right? When I tell you, okay, we'll do this, that means you guys are obviously onto it, but I am also included, right? So we is obviously that. So I or we perspective is first person. Okay, when I'm talking about myself, or when we are talking about ourselves, our opinions, and the things that will happened to us. Okay, that is first person. Whenever I'm telling the sentence in I or we perspective. Okay, that is first person. Now second person is the you perspective. When I am talking about the you perspective. For example, if I'm talking with any of my student and I am telling, you should be proud of yourself. Okay, you should be proud of yourself. That means I am talking in a you perspective, right? I am not talking about I or we. I'm talking about you, your perspective, you perspective. You should be proud of yourself. That is the your perspective, you perspective. Second person, you. Okay, now two people are talking and I'm talking to you, you perspective. See, in some stories will be written in first person, like as if I myself am writing the story. I was doing this and then this happened and then this tragedy happened, then this thing happened, then my career failed, then my business failed. So it feels like the story is being written by the person itself, right? That is the first person narrative. Okay, second person is like when I tell you something or some quotes. Okay, it will be like, you should never get tired of, or you should never be ashamed of your past. So that is a quote, right? That's a quote. And then that is in second person. Why? Because the person who is writing is telling that in the you perspective. You should never be ashamed of your past. Okay, you should. So that is a second person narrative. Okay, that is a second person narrative, you perspective. One more thing is that, see, when I'm talking about you, it might mean, might have two possibilities. One thing is that I'm talking to one person. Okay, you, one person, one student. It might also mean that, sorry, give me a minute. Autobiography, first perspective. Biography is not second perspective. I'll come into that, Ansh. Just give me a moment. Just let me finish the third person and then I'll come on come into your doubt. Okay, Ansh, just give me a minute. Okay, very good question, by the way, Ansh. I really appreciate it. Yes. So second person is, I was talking about you. Okay, so you might mean you have two possibilities. One, I'm talking to one person, you, one student. Okay, or I'm talking to a group of people as well. Then also I tell you, right? I can tell you should be prepared for a test tomorrow. That means I'm talking to all of you guys. So there are two possibilities. Either I'm talking to one student, okay? Either it's like, Arslan, you should be doing this thing. So that means I'm talking to Arslan. Then I can tell you should be prepared for the test. That means I'm talking to all of you guys, all of you students, that you guys should be prepared for the test. So there are two things, two possibilities for you. Okay, you can go to the you can see the sentence and then understand the context in many ways. If I'm talking, see, you should be proud of yourself. That means yourself is one you, one person I'm talking about, one you. Okay, but if I'm talking about you should be proud of yourselves, that means I'm talking to a number of you, a number of people. Okay, yourselves, that is the difference. Okay, yourself is one and yourselves is a group of people. So that is there. From the sentence you can understand which context I'm talking about you. So that is second person. Okay, now coming to the third person. See, third person, if I am talking to you, okay, two people are talking, then I'm talking about a third person. Okay, if me and Arslan are talking about someone else, third person, he, that means it's not I perspective, it is not you perspective, but a third person, she or he or they. Okay, all those are third person perspective. Okay, he, she, they, which is neither me or you. That is the third person perspective. He, none of us are involved. We are talking about a third person. Okay, third person, he, she, or it, they, all those are, or a proper noun. If me and Arslan are talking something, then a third person like Ansh. Yes, Ansh is a third person for us. So that is in a third person perspective, right? So it all depends on that. Yes. So this is first person, second person, third person, and Ansh has asked a very good question. Yes, autobiography is like when a person himself writes his life story, right? Autobiography. When I write my life story, then I would obviously write it in first person, right? I was doing my schooling here. I was doing this thing. I suffered these things. I went through all these hardships. I went through all these relationships. I went through all these career options. Then this thing turned up. This thing turned up for me. So that is I perspective. I tell that in first person, autobiography, right? And biography is life story written by someone else. If I have a life story and if Ansh writes it, okay, if Ansh writes it, then it is a biography. It is my life story he is writing, right? So of course, that will be third person, because Ansh will tell she went through it. She did her schooling. She did that. She did this. She went through all these things. So that's in a third person, right? And most stories, most novels, most of the things are written in third person perspective. Okay, she, he, it, they. Okay, third person perspective. Yes, Arslan, your lifestyle written by others. That is biography, right? Okay. So that is the thing. Is it clear, Ansh? Am I clear? And it's a very good question. I am glad that you asked, because everyone will have a clarification on that now. Okay. So first person, second person, and third person. Okay. So now that being done, coming to the important rule. Okay, coming to the important rule. See, in a sentence, it is not necessary that only one perspective will be there, right? It is not necessary that only first person perspective is going to be there, or second person or third person. There can be a combination. If first person, second person, and third person comes in a sentence, how to arrange them, how to order them. Okay, there is a rule. Okay, there is a rule how to order them in a sentence. Very important, I would tell. I think, yes, Sujal, yes, right. I think 2-3 times this question has come for NDA, at least in the 7-8 year papers which I have looked recently. 2-3 questions I could find. So I understood that this is the important part in pronouns. Yes. See, give me a moment. I am typing. Yes, see, I, you, and she went to school. We can tell we went to school, right? I know that you guys are going to ask me, but just imagine I'm just telling you, I'm just quoting this for an example to make you guys understand better. Okay. I, you, and she went to school. Just being more specific about who we are. Okay. Okay. So I is in first person, you is in second person, she is in third person. See, we have 3 persons perspective in the sentence. So how to arrange? The rule is, first you go for second person, then you go for third person, then you go for first person. The 2-3-1 rule. Okay, 2-3-1 rule. First you go for second person. So the second person in this sentence is you. First arrange that, you. Now the third person is she. Okay, she. Third person, she. Then you go for that. And go for the first person last. You, she, and I went to school. This is the rule. You, she, and I went to school. Okay, this is how you should order pronouns when you get in 3 viewpoints. Okay, first you should go for 2, second person, then you should go for third person, then you should go for first person. The orders will be wrong in the sentence, and that will be the error in the sentence. Okay, this is the kind of questions you guys are going to get asked. Okay, so you have to see the order. You, she, and I. Second person, third person, and first person. Okay, 2-3-1 rule. Second person, third person, and first person. Okay. Yes. So I think our time is up now. Now I better go. Okay. Was it clear? It's okay. If it is not clear, tomorrow again I'll ask and you guys can tell me. Okay. Once more I'll explain if it is a little too much for you guys. Yes, but if you guys understood, please let me know. If you guys did not understand also, understood, just let me know. Sorry. Clear? Is it clear, everyone? Okay. Some of you might be knowing this thing, but yes. Okay. So that being done, we'll continue tomorrow. Okay. Everything, all these things. If anyone has a doubt, please come and ask. I'll tell that 100 times for you. No problem. Yes. So I'll see you tomorrow. Yes, Arslan, once I finish all these things, I'll give you guys practice sheet. Okay. Yes. Lovely time with you, gentlemen. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay. Thank you so much for being here. Have a great day.